Could you talk about Redmond's conditioner? So, we
Have not used it.
have not used it, and I don't. So, I don't want to just say anything because I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, neither of us have any direct experience.
We are going to be getting some Redmond's sea salt to start trying. The conditioner we haven't used, and
the only thing that I know about it is what Steve Campbell told us about it, and all that is just Redmond's conditioner is basically a form of clay. It's an incredibly fine particulate, and it binds to toxins and other sort of impurities in the animal, and it lets them pass through the animal and then become inert in the soil. And so it's sort of a way of drawing out toxins from the animal to make it healthier. That's really all I know. I don't know any other details about amounts. Does it actually work? Do you see a difference? What kind of stuff should I be looking for? What does it actually fix? Can I throw it in the pond? Like those kinds of things. Can I eat it? Anyway, but
no, we don't know enough about it.
We don't know enough about it to go into that. But if people have more knowledge about it, throw it in the chat. I'd love to hear about it. Because it might be something that we try in the future, but at this point we're not.
We got a cold wind blowing.
I'm gonna shut this window. I apologize for the noise.
If you have 40 acres and running 10 head of cattle, where would you put the bull when you remove him to avoid winter calving? I'm assuming 40 wouldn't be enough room to separate. If you're only running 10 head,
I would consider renting a bull, potentially, or leasing a bull from somebody. That's an option.
Yeah, 40 wouldn't be enough room to separate probably, unless
40 acres.
Unless you just kept them up in a dry lot.
Let's think about this for a second. So if you were running the amount of animal units that we do per acre, 2 acres per animal unit, you'd be able to run 40 acres. You'd be able to run what?
20 cows.
20 cows.
But
20 animal units.
He said he has 10 head.
10 head. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that part. 10 head.
If you had 40 acres and running 10 head of cattle, where would you put the bull? I would try. I mean, if you can tell for sure that your cattle are bred, I would just run them with him.
If
you only got 10 head, if you can if you're there every day moving them, and you can keep a track of who's getting bred and who is still to be bred, as long as they're not going to get bred in that November through March through July time frame, you should be good.
Yeah, because you'll be able to keep track. You can even bring a vet out to preg check with that many head. It wouldn't take that long. Obviously, there's sometimes inaccuracies with preg checking. Pregnancy checks for those people who aren't in the know. You could do that, or sometimes you can just tell.
If she's riding, then she's in heat, and as long as nothing's riding.
And by riding, meaning
or if the bull's
cow,
mounting, the bull's riding her. Yeah. She's in heat, and then you need to separate them if it's in that time frame.
But if they all get bred within the correct time window,
right? If you put your bull in July 1st and he's got them bred by August 31st,
which he probably should.
He probably should. If one bull with 10 head.
If someone's in, that would be something in your situation that you should think about calling for. If those cows don't get bred within their first cycle, 2 cycles, however long it takes to, for that window to occur, they don't get bred in that period of time. You should consider getting rid of them, because you need that high fertility in your situation.
Of course, there's the thing: if you're breeding in July, they're gonna calve in April, and they could breed back in May. And then you've got winter calves.
May. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So it would be more like you'd wanna. Let's think. You'd wanna if you put the bull in, it's a 9-month gestation. So if you wanted them to. What's the early July? So 9 months prior to July, somewhere in the.
I feel like I saw or I heard of something where they took rams and put almost like a diaper.
Yeah. That was someone who came to buy a ram. It was it's like a chastity belt, basically.
Yeah.
It's like
on the ram, so they could just run the ram with the ewes, and he wouldn't. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable.
I wouldn't do that with a bull. I also wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable with it either.
Because it's if it fails, then you've got calf in winter. I don't know. If you've got if maybe you've got like 10 acres or something down the road that you could look at leasing.
Yeah, that would
and
be
then just
a good
running
situation.
him with a steer.
Otherwise, I'd look at leasing a bull.
Yeah.
It's like seeing if I could.
Or if there's like a couple people near you that all want to run a bull, and you could somehow.
Yeah, if you have another cattle producer, yeah, exactly, who's got bulls, and you're like, hey, can I borrow him for a month or 2 months or 3 months? Yeah, exactly. Can I pay you X amount for every month that I've got him to get my cows bred, and then I can give them back to you. Like, people might be down to do that. So you need, like, that's a potential option. But yeah, if you can find a little piece that's separated that you could lease to run them on.
If you're thinking about it, it's only 4 months out of the year that you need to separate him.
Yeah.
And so 4 months for one animal is like, it's
not a lot of land.
You could probably get away with like 3 acres of grass or something. Get that fence and just move them every day. And
it's okay to push them a little bit. Like, it's not the bull can sort of take it, if that makes any sense.
You don't have to baby him.
And what's kind of interesting with us, I mean, this is rams and not bulls, but like when the rams get separated from the ewes, they go into a little bachelor pad up here by the house, and they just get rotated around this patch of woods from December through to July through to December, right? Rams, July through to December. Yes. Yeah, so from July through to December, they are in this like sort of bachelor pad by the house, and they get rotated around this woods for that many
basically
months.
Back and forth,
and they chew that thing down, and it's like they're getting exposed to a higher parasite load and like less high quality forage, lower quality forage than any other ewe will ever experience in their entire life. And so what it does is, if some of those ram lambs don't make it, like they get wormy or parasitic or whatever, it's like that if they don't, they're a super tough animal.
If they can make it through
what we put them through. And it's not like we're abusing them, but it's just like they're being put a little bit more to the test than the other animals are. And so that like those genetics are solid, and they're going to get spread throughout your flock.
Male breeding animal, whether that's the bull, the ram, the boar, the the buck, any male animal that you'll be breeding with has more impact than any other animal in your herd. Because if you think about it, his genetics are being spread over, or their genetics, whether it's like 2 or 3, are being spread over the whole herd. Whereas like a cow, she can only spread her genetics to her calf, a ewe to her lambs, and so
the bull
or the ram or the
buck,
boar.
What else?
Drake. No.
Yeah, isn't it a Drake?
Mallard. No, that's a breeded duck.
Regardless,
they have the most impact on your herd as far as genetics.
So if you push them a little bit and you see that they're still holding condition and still performing, that like that's a solid animal. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing to push that male just a little bit more than you would the rest of your animals, to allow him to be separated from the rest of your animals. So,
but you also want them to be ready to breed.
Exactly. It's a fine balance. It's not like you can just, all right, buddy, you get this much grass and that's it. You know what I mean? Like you got to work with them a little bit, but it's okay that they're not getting the lush, pristine, freshly recovered forage that like the rest of the female mob is.
You also got to think is they don't have a calf sucking on them, or they don't have a lamb sucking on them, so they're not being pulled down by anything. They're just having to keep their own body weight up and put their own. They're just having to work for themselves, not for other animals, and so they can make it on a lot poorer quality forage and management.
But that's something that you'll learn how to do, but just through experience. But yeah, leasing, try to find a little piece. Don't be afraid to push them a little bit. AI potentially with that few ahead could be an option. I'm not condoning it necessarily just because I don't have any direct experience, but you have a lot of experience with it.
Not with the actual
AI,
breeding,
but with the collecting.
Collecting.
Yeah.
The other end of it.
The other end of it. Anyway.